Islam tapped Drew Dober from half guard. That's from Yazid. I think you're right. I think you're right. But guys, if I'm actually, I think you're 100% right. I can't believe I missed that. Thank you very much. Who said that out there? Let me see here. Who said that? That's from Yazid. Yazid, a very keen mind. You're absolutely right. And you know what, though? Let me tell you something. I assume his squeeze must be ferocious. But to tap a black belt of Oliveira's experience is very surprising. Guys, Drew Dober is a very good striker, very good wrestler, killer MMA guy, but he's not a jiu-jitsu guy, right? He doesn't do subs. He's not a type of guy who's going to finesse you on the ground. He's a Muay Thai background, Muay Thai champion, very good wrestler, super athlete. And of course, he's got very good jiu-jitsu coaches, but that's not his forte. So Islam tapping him from half guard, katakatami, arm triangle. Impressive, but not shocking. And he took a longer time to tap. I think there was more of a delay. Oliveira tapped very quickly as soon as the half guard was passed. Where black belts, we know that usually in half guard, you're not supposed to tap. But it seemed like the squeezing pressure made him release the half guard, and he tapped immediately. He didn't even attempt an escape. So for me, it's hard to wrap my mind around it, because why wouldn't he even at least try the escape? Again, guys, I don't want to say that it's that easy, because I mean, he just got rocked, right? So he might have been really, really rocked. Not sure where he is. He's like, hey, I'm running out of air. I can't even assess the situation. Things are tough in the moment. So, of course, he's a very experienced fighter. He's been knocked down. He's been in submissions, and he's come back from behind to win. However, what I'm trying to highlight here is Islam Makhachev must have a vicious squeeze, guys. It must be a vicious squeeze. Islam's style seems better than anyone else at using gravity to his advantage. He knows how to always be heavy to his opponents and tips. To be heavy on his opponents. Any tips, sources, or references to learn that style? That's from M. Rohn. Listen, I'll tell you, that style, he developed it himself, guys. Every elite athlete kind of develops his style his own way. Why? You learn the basics. You work with different trainers. You get all sorts of great tips, and then you kind of formulate your style. His style, I would say, Islam Makhachev, is very, very basic. Advanced basic, guys. Every move he does, we know it. There's nothing he's doing out there that's really mysterious. What he's doing is he's taking the basics to the highest level. Guys, I'll tell you, he reminds me a lot of a Roger Gracie. Roger Gracie, I've had the privilege to work with him. He's arguably the greatest grappler of all time, guys. Arguably, very arguably. He would do just basic moves. He would pass the guard, mount, choke. Like, he was so basic. Like, we know these moves. How come he can do it and we can't? Like, he was so incredible to watch, because he wasn't doing anything that we could observe that seemed different. But then when he would teach you armbar, guys, when I got to work with Hajar, it really opened my eyes. When he would teach us armbar, when he would teach us pass, he would talk about a lot of details, went unnoticed to us. You know, we've been doing armbar for many years. We've been doing guillotine for many years. These details have gone completely unnoticed to us. And I think that's what Islam Makhachev is doing. You know, he's wrestling, he's doing jiu-jitsu, but he's just refining the little details. When you go in the gym every day and you work on it and you tinker around with the technique, you start to find one little detail that makes a massive difference, and then you find another, and all of a sudden, your trips, your arm triangles, they look so different than everybody else's, but really, it's really the minutia. And this can't be taught if the guy can express these ideas, if he's aware of what he's doing. Sometimes I've worked with really good athletes, and it's a bit frustrating, because when you ask them to show you a move, they're not really good teachers. They don't even know how they do it. They've been doing it from such a young age. It's kind of like, you know, I'm speaking English, but I don't know much about English grammar. Like, I'm not an expert in English grammar. I'm using it. I'm doing it. I'm making it work. But I learned it at such a young age that I just do it by hearing. Now, if I learn English in my 30s and 40s, they'd have to teach me the formal reasons why grammar is structured in a certain way, or else it won't make sense. So when you learn at a really young age, you have this intuitive sense of how a hold should be. You've tried it thousands of times. Okay, I think you need both. I think the best trainers are analytical, and the best fighters are intuitive. But the top, the legends are both analytical and intuitive. If you want to go that level, like you started training really, really young, and you're super analytical as you grow up. You don't just take it for granted. You go deep into the art. I think you can reach the tippy top of the sport, you know, the tippy top.